kind of see where the popcorn line kind of runs right along there, roughly. So it's pretty safe to assume that at least that deep there was water in here at one time. So pretty cool. Any questions or? I had a group of second graders yesterday. You guys are so well behaved. You all deserve rock candy. And then of course I realized, well, this was not yesterday, but I had a group of second graders in here a while back, and I realized how old I was because I had one little guy just stuck to me like glue. And I told him, I said, look, that looks like ribbon candy. He had no idea. Like none. I thought, you know, like at grandma's house. And he was like, nothing. No idea. I thought, wow, I'm getting old. So trust me, ask grandma and grandpa about it. No idea. All right, we are going to go ahead. I want to make sure we're out there behind us. I'll give you a heads up, no pun intended. Please watch your heads to the tunnel. It gets down to about 4.5 feet. A couple of you will probably be okay. No direct eye contact. Yeah, definitely watch your heads. It's also really drippy through here, so if you haven't gotten wet yet, this is where it's going to happen. So just watch your heads. We'll make our way through the tunnel system and on any further to the cave. A little low, but
The parts caves, the trails are like smooth. They're not in traction, and they're wet, and they're downhill.
Like dripping out of both feet.
Yeah, it used to be a national monument.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think the state said they do a better job.
I got one in my eye. Oh, that's cool. Oh, cool.
Stretch out my back.
It looks like it's in a sea.
Okay, I learned that you must have in here, and I wrote that one.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I'm glad I put the, careful. Someone's bridge right here.
No, they're just right here. There's just enough twists and turns.
It's actually surprising how it sucks up the sound.
Is that where they come down? That's not cool.
Gotta do that to her.
Oh, that's ladder.
It's going to dry.
Part of the ground.
soda straw kind, how do they
Mm-hmm.
have such a perfect shape like that? Why aren't they like, you know,
I'm not sure I understand.
like when they're dripping, how do they
Mhm.
drip perfectly like a cylinder instead of like a pointy thing, like all these ones?
Well, what it'll do, and no, that's a good question. The soda straws themselves, they'll start out with just that single drip. But what happens is the center of the soda straw, because they're hollow, will eventually fill up. And then what it does is when it deposits, it'll start depositing bigger around. So it really depends on the route that the water takes as it comes in. Sometimes you'll get, and most actually, stalactites kind of have that kind of shape to
Yeah.
them. But the soda straws themselves are hollow, so a lot of the water being depositing those minerals is actually running on the inside as opposed to the outside.
Oh.
Yeah. Now again, they will fill up in the middle, and then when they do, they start to grow a little bit bigger around. And of course, here in front of us, you can see where they would continue up and over into that next room. We'll be going there, but we don't have to climb. We actually excavate a lot of this clay out of here, and it opened up a natural kind of horseshoe shape in the limestone that just allows us to walk right around. So we'll be doing that here in a moment. I'll make sure we're lit up here. Of course, right here, this is what we call our land bridge. And a couple of cool things about it is once we get into that next room, you can look back up over the top of that. And it's really cool up there. But that's also one of our main access routes to do maintenance and to change lights. So a lot of times we have to come back here, we'll climb up, and then once we're up there, we can navigate a lot of the cave from the upper chambers. So, which luckily we switched over to LEDs, so we don't have to change lights as much. Before that, it was all the time. All right. Any questions or? No? Again, you guys are so well behaved. All right. Well, we will make our way around to the big room. Now, when we do, as we pass through this area up on this clay shelf, you're going to see some initials and dates. You'll kind of see that throughout the cave. But these were left by the early explorers as they came through. I think the oldest date we have up here is 1930. Oldest date that I've seen is 1926. It's actually way up on the upper chambers. But we do have a 1930, 1944. So just take note of that as we pass by. And we will work our way around here. The only other thing is please watch this outcropping here. It'll get in your blind spot and really does not the movie. So please be careful, and we will move around here to the next area. All right.
All the lights go out, that's why you have to flash that case I have.
Yes.
I'm sure it's dark down here.
Oh yeah, I'm going to show you, not spoiler, but I'll show you guys here before too long. But we get really bad thunderstorms to be and that's the main power. So if we get a power outage, yeah, it'll just. And it's happened a few times with some very large groups in here. So.
I'm sure in the summer there's probably bigger crowds.
Oh yeah, we run, most of our tours will be about 35, 40 people. And we have a full staff, so we'll run tours every 10 minutes.
Really?
And so we'll get 3 or 4 tours in here at once of about 35 to 40 people, and it's pretty much like that all day. So it's, you guys really picked a good time of year to come.
What's the humidity level in here?
100% year round. And 60 degrees, so it's always the constant. If you were in here long enough, you'd never even know what it was doing outside. And then of course you can look kind of back up over that shelf and kind of see our access route up there. We were just under that actually. And then of course up here in front, this is the natural break that I was telling you guys about in the first room. This is the only natural break that we know of in the cave. Obviously not caused by vandalism or anything like that. What they think happened is this likely broke around the time of the New Madrid fault quake about 200 years ago. And when it hit, it was such a massive quake, it caused all of this to kind of shift and slide. When it did, it pulled that down into 2 pieces. So it will eventually reconnect. You can kind of see how it used to fit together. We do have some soda straw development there, so in a few thousand years, We will have a very large pair of columns up there at the top. And then just to the left of that, that little white column, again, almost pure calcium. And that's what we call our wedding cake, because it kind of looks like a tiered wedding cake there. So. And then now, they call this the big room, not for available floor space, obviously. You get 35, 40 people back here, and it's a tight fit. But the ceilings in this room are the highest on the tour, about 35 feet up. And I think actually the stalactite growth back here, a lot of it looks like coral reef, which you might see at the bottom of the ocean. So, and a lot of popcorn. So that does tell us that at one time, at least most of this was submerged. All right, we're going to make our way back, take a look at Mystery Lake, which is totally awesome. And that's where I get to have some fun with you guys too. But please watch your heads here. These edges were cut and they're very sharp. So they can be extremely unforgiving if you hit your head on that. And we will make our way through this passage and in to take a look at Mystery Lake. So, all right, follow me, guys. Step off to the side here and let you guys move up to the observation deck. I will tell you all about Mystery Lake. Yeah, before I tell you guys about Mystery Lake, a couple of points. We're about a quarter mile in at this point. The cave does go back for another half a mile, just straight beyond where we're at now before it comes to a dead end. From ceiling to surface here, we are a little over 200 feet down, so about maximum depth. So, very cool. And then, of course, Mystery Lake. How can we miss that? It actually is one body of water. It extends underneath us here, back to this lower observation window, so that's all one body of water there. It is completely self-contained, so there's no way for any kind of wildlife to get in or out. We don't have any blind cave fish or anything like that in the lake. But you will notice a ladder and some lumber way down there at the far end. And that's the mystery. We don't have any idea how that got here. It's been there for as long as we've known about this part of the cave. They've actually dated it to about the mid-1800s. So it's been there for a while. Now we've tried to remove it, but it just crumbles and falls apart. So as long as we leave it with the water conditions, it should remain there for at least a few years to come. The water depth is about 20 feet, and the temperature is right at 50
tips are all green.
So with the water pressure and the temperature, it kind of helps to preserve it.
Has anyone ever gone missing that they know of? Or?
Not that we know of. I would find it, and here in a minute I'll show you why, I would find it really hard to believe that nobody throughout the years has ever met their demise in here. You'll see here in a minute why I think that. But we never have found any evidence of that. We think that likely, if that were the case, we used to have a pretty healthy black bear population. We think the wildlife probably cleaned up any remains that were left behind. So.
And also, has anyone ever witnessed like a big breakage of some sort, like a natural? Yeah.
No, it's the only one large break we have is that one that we just passed, and that has been there. They wrote about that. Actually, Mr. Moffat wrote about that in 1856. So it's been a while. Is anybody afraid of the dark?
Nope.
I mean, I'm gonna turn the lights off. No, you guys, we are completely safe. I've got backup lights and we're completely good. But your cave experience is not complete until you experience total dark. And this will also give you a new level of appreciation kind of for what the early explorers experienced as they came through.
They came through their candles.
And it just never gets any better. Without a light source, there's nothing for your eyes. So regardless of how long you're in here, it's always this dark. Now, as they came through, the early explorers, rather, they would use lanterns a lot of times to light their way. Now, a lantern is going to put out a little more light than a big lighter, but not by a lot. So this is kind of along the lines of what they were seeing.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get to see as much of the cave, of course, and they didn't have the walkways, they didn't have the easy access, so they were climbing and crawling and navigating, very limited light, and like we were saying, they had, black bear population in the area, a lot of critters in the caves, so it was a completely different experience before about 1970, actually, when we put most of our lights in, so very cool. And then, of course, if their lights went out, they were in real trouble. But it's pretty much one shot in and one shot out, but